Mr. Arzola, I'm bringing you out because with us, you're on bond for a terroristic threat. The next day you pick up a criminal mischief, or maybe it's the same transaction, I don't know. All I know is that now you've picked up a felony violation, or I'm sorry, you picked up a violation protective order with us. And the bond is set at $100,000 on it. I have no idea what happened. We're going to find out. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Judge, you need to hear about criminal mischief and
No, just the
just VPO.
VPO, please. If you could be loud.
Yes, Judge. On April 30th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. Officers arrived and met with a complaining witness who stated that the defendant is his son. Complaining witness was informed that the defendant was causing a disturbance at his shop and wanted him to criminally trespass. Defendant refused to leave and refused to sign a trespass warning given by officer. Officer then found the defendant had an active protective order prohibiting from being at the location.
So this is the terroristic threat, I imagine, had the protective order.
I believe so, Your Honor.
And so the court knows, I think the one that ends with 9-2, that one was no PC. I think that one's being dismissed or was dismissed, but that leaves open the other three cases.
Oh, there was another terroristic threat.
There's two terrorist threats. One was no PC'd, and I believe that's being dismissed. And then there's just so the court knows.
I guess I didn't realize they're all basically within the same. So what happened on the terroristic threat and the mischief, I guess?
On the mischief, Judge, on April 28th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers met with a complaining witness who said that the defendant is his son. Complaining witness stated that the defendant struck several vehicles with metal pipe, breaking the taillight left panel and damaging the front hood of the vehicle. Complaining witness stated the defendant then started arguing
Is there any
with him
evidence?
and gestured a handgun and acted like he was discharging it. That's on the,
That's a terroristic threat.
You what?
that is
Can you read that again?
correct, Your Honor.
He acted like he had a handgun. Did I get that?
And acted like he discharged it.
So a imaginary gun is a terroristic gun? Like pew pew?
Well, it says, did then and there unlawfully threaten to commit an offense, namely murder, upon a member of the defendant's family, namely Jesse James Arizola Sr., hereinafter called the complainant, with intent to place the complainant in fear of imminent serious bodily injury.
I have a little more, Judge, too.
Okay?
Sorry. The defendant, used his right-handed gesture, a handgun, acting like he discharged on him while stating that he was going to kill him and all of his family members.
No, something.
I mean, I just got it, Your Honor. So I had, I need to look at everything. I haven't seen anything yet.
Ms. Arzola, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I can't give you a PR bond, man. Just, you scare me. The last thing I want is I don't want you to go back, and I don't want you to do something that you will eternally regret. It's mom and dad, man, Look at me. What's going on with you?
I filed some paperwork, Your Honor. Just so you know.
What I'm going to do now, Mr. Arzola, I'm going to have you speak to some people because we need to figure out how to go forward. I don't know. Just don't go back over there. Do you understand? I don't know if you're going to get out, but if you do, I'm putting a monitor on your ankle and I don't want you to go back over there. I'll obviously give you a bond reduction on the 100,000. I think it's a little excessive, but I'm going to revoke his PR bonds. He was on a PR bond. I'm assuming he was on a PR bond and went back. Is that right? Because the first offenses happened on the 28th. Now the VPO.
And so the VPO has summoned that, Your Honor.
And it has been assigned to DVD or,
Right, so 2 days later, it goes back, and so that's
so
why.
it's not gonna be theirs, but I don't know who the DVD prosecutor is.
Can you get all the
They're gonna share everything they have with me, yes, sir. Can take a
the
little time.
police badge numbers and the police that were there
Yep,
that arrived?
It'll be in the report once I
it'll be
get
in
the
the
report.
report. Everything.
And can we go to trial?
We sure can, but it's one step at a time, okay? We're not there yet, but we can go to trial if that's what you like.
Mr. Arzola, my only other thing I'm gonna ask you is that I don't know if you're taking anything, some kind of illegal substances,
Drug free?
but, you know, are you supposed to be taking anything?
No, I'm drug free.
No. Are you supposed to be taking
No.
anything? Have you talked to a doctor or they've prescribed you anything? Because we can have you also talk to a doctor too, to see if
I'm
there's
not
something to be taking. I don't know. I'm trying to just
concerned about anything like that.
help you out so that you don't pick up more things. That's it. So look, I'll let you talk to Greg. You guys figure out how we go forward. So I'll set the bond at 5,003 on the VPO.
Okay.
I want you to understand something, Mr. Arzola. I'm issuing a protective order now on the violation case. If you violate those conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at zero bond until these cases are over with. Do you understand? The only thing I'm asking you to do is don't have contact with your dad. Don't go
What are
over
my
there.
charges?
Their
Exactly.
charges are terroristic threat of a family member, criminal mischief, and violation of a
Alright.
protective order.
And what I want to say is that the so-called claiming police trespassed on my property.
Okay.
So I'm trying to say that those charges are bogus. All those charges.
Noted.
Well,
Gotcha.
look, the evidence is going to point to whose side is correct. I don't know. We weren't there. But it'll take time to get the evidence. There'll be body cams. And when we get everything, we're going to show it to you so you can see what happened as well. Okay? Hold on.
So the one is 5,003, Your Honor. So what are the other two bonds?
So hold on. Can you file, a protective order has not even been filed on the VPO. Can you file it so that we can do it?
Yes, Your Honor. We can, we'll have, Sebastian.
So what I'm doing is I'm now entering an order, Mr. Arzola, that identifies Mr. Arzola Senior as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense
Just
under
wanted to
section.
trial.
Yeah, we will, but I have,
Because I feel that what you're saying is really irrelevant because the impersonating police officers that trespassed on my property gave me bogus charges. So the police, the so-called police that arrested me, I want to go to trial.
We're gonna go to trial, but we're not there yet,
let me
okay?
do this one last thing though. I need you to listen real quick, Mr. Arzola. The protective order says that you cannot go within 200 feet of where your dad lives, where your dad works. You cannot be in possession of any of the weapons. You cannot communicate with this person in a
I'm
threatening.
mentioning that I'm not concerned.
Should be.
Well,
This just says you can't go there. We'll talk about everything else in trial.
Just want to
and that.
explain.
if my family, my parents didn't write any police report or sign any paperwork, I'm not concerned what is being said.
I'll have Greg reach out to your folks to figure out what they say. Okay? You cannot stalk your parents. You cannot be in possession of a firearm or use anyone else to communicate a threat or harassing behavior to your father. All right, we're going to have him sign everything, Greg.
Okay,
We'll sign your motion. And then,
Well, I want to go to trial and I want to be appointed a new lawyer, a court-appointed lawyer.
just raise it up by $1.
okay. So that makes it what?
1,001.
1,001 dollars, okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Arzola, we're going to have you sign these documents. After that, we'll have you go.
I want a new court-appointed attorney.
just met him. Okay. Okay. But we need him to sign stuff, okay? GPS prior to release, no drugs, no alcohol. Hey, what's he got in his fingers there? He grabbed something.
Sign my evaluation. Okay, thank you.
I don't know if it's like,
If it's what?
yo, I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean.
And then whatever you need, we'll give it to you, you know?
Okay.
As I said.
Just wave the signature. It's okay. Wave it.
Okay, so I'll explain first I was gonna approach on Galindo.
Okay.
This is the kid that you took into custody. He had tested dirty. I was gonna see with a little weekend jail therapy, if you would consider reinstating his bond. I'm hoping the DA is gonna give him a possible pretrial intervention, and obviously I can't get this kid to do anything if he's in custody. So I'm assuming it's gonna be.
You don't have anything yet? No good offer? It's 130.
I mean, I turned everything in, but yeah, that's.
Submitted something.
I submitted it. It looks like that's where we're going is yes, but he needs to be out on bond to do what they asked him.
So when this case was first filed, I told Greg, I'm like, yeah, let's see how he's doing on bond. Let's just kind of, let's see how.
Your mom and dad here or anyone here?
Right. She was here. Now you, sir, behind you.
My only issue is that we've done this before. We're reinstated as a bond.
I understand, but he's a high school kid. He's going to be missing school. If they do the pretrial intervention, I can't have him do anything in there. If they're going to do some sort of decision-making class, a drug safety course, that type of stuff, they're all online. I need him out. He can't do it.
How do we ensure that he doesn't use anymore?
Well, I mean,
Tell me, what is his schedule now, Mom?
He goes to school, he comes home.
Where's he at school in Madison?
It's in high school, right?
He's at
Is it Katie? Where's it?
Gordon,
More. Okay.
Gordon.
I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to order him under home confinement other than school. You know. You know, there are times in life where people are their own worst enemy.
And here comes the headline
That is you.
moment.
If
This
no
isn't
one
just
else
about
to
a
blame.
bond violation for
I
a
have
high
already
school kid
reinstated
anymore.
your bond once.
The judge is
and I
looking
told you
past the
that I
file
wasn't
and
going to play
speaking
this game
directly
again.
to the
And
self-destructive
now you're in
pattern.
jail.
I have already reinstated
Your
your
lawyer
bond once,
and your
and I
mom
told
are-
you that I
are
wasn't
just-
going to
they
play
wanna
this
get you
game
out.
again.
But
He's drawing a line in
why?
the sand.
You do
Every
whatever the
viewer
hell
at
you
home
want
who's
to do
ever given
whenever
someone
you're going to
one
do it.
last
You just don't
chance
care about
feels
bond
this.
conditions.
The
So why would we
drama
do
isn't
this?
in the legal statute here. It's in this ultimatum. Will this kid finally hear it, or is he on a path where the next
Your
stop is a
word
cell, not a
is
classroom?
absolute. That is you. There's no one else to blame. I have already reinstated your bond once, and I told you that I wasn't going to play this game again, and now you're in jail. Your lawyer and your mom are just, they want to get you out. But why? You do whatever the hell you want to do, whenever you're going to do it. You just don't care about bond conditions. So why would we do this?
To be honest, like, I give you my word,
Your word is absolute. Goes from me, goes in one ear, goes in out the other ear. You tell me something, I don't believe it for a second, because that's what you told me the last time. And now you're here telling me the same thing. Why on earth?
my CDO.
Okay. Explain that to judge. What you want.
Say that again? What?
I want to study for my CDO so I can do trucking.
Do you think anyone's going to hire you with weed in your system? They test every single person when you go drive a 15,000-pound car. You get behind the wheel and you have marijuana in your system and you get into an accident, your life is all but over. You'll never be employed again. No one. Because before they even put you in a car, they're going to test you like crazy. And if you test positive for marijuana, you think they're going to let you drive?
No, sir.
I'm not. You're a complete liability.
And judge, that's, part of if they give him the PTI, that's not concrete, you understand, I'm trying to get you what's called a pretrial intervention.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming part of it, and I would encourage part of it to be the drug safety course, learn something out of it, a decision-making course, community service, whatever they may want. And I'm hoping some of the stuff helps him learn from it, educate himself. And so he stops doing this, he can graduate, try to achieve his goals. But I mean, you know, if he's got the criminal conviction, he's sitting in there, it just goes downhill from there. And so I'm trying to get.
Perception is reality. If you look like a thug, people will treat you like a thug. If you speak like a thug, they will treat you like a thug. When your hair is all kind of crazy and you go in half dressed with your pants down to your ankles, do you think you're going to get anything in this life?
No, sir. Not at all.
Tell me about his schedule now, Mom. What is he doing?
He goes to school.
Okay, every day? Okay.
And he comes home from school and just sleeps until maybe there's up doing their night all night.
What was he doing before we put him in jail? What was he doing? Is he going out with friends? Is he going out on Friday nights, Saturday nights, going out to?
School most of the time. He was just out.
What do you mean most of the time?
Well, he'll miss school days.
What?
He would just go to, and now he's there just for every day, so.
How
They should
much
say
do you-
first he was, now he's been going
Yeah, he's
since.
been going to school since we came back to court. The first time he came to court, he's been going to school. So prior to that, he just didn't have no cash for going to school or anything like that.
Mr. Galindo,
Yes, sir.
this life really, really sucks without money.
Yes, sir.
And I cannot tell you the amount of people that we get in here end up in jail because they quit school at the 10th grade, dropped out because they would just rather go out partying, doing whatever they're going to do, just thinking that, oh, I'm going to go get a job and just go work. The more schooling you have in this life, the more money you will make.
Yes, sir.
Ask him how much money he makes. It's a rhetorical question. He probably spent the better part of around 7, 8 years in life just in post high school. And now homeboy probably makes, I don't know, $250,000, give or take, you know, I'm betting. Because that's what life is about. He's constantly going to Athens, Greece, just that's what life is about. Not living paycheck to paycheck, scrummaging just to be able to get freaking groceries. Just, I can't get new tires on my car because I ain't got no money. So, and then I can't get a job because I ain't got no money because I ain't got no tires. This is the shitty part about life, that you skipping school are going to end up. I still have friends that I went to high school with that work at fast food restaurants because they never did anything worthwhile in life. And they look at me like, oh, I'm like, it doesn't come easy. If it was hard, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Now, did we have a GPS monitor on his ankle before? Okay. Reluctantly, I'm going to let you out. But the only thing I want from you is to get up, you go to school, and you go back home. You're not allowed out. I don't want you to go out on a Friday night. I don't want you to go out on a Saturday night. I want you to sit home. And I want verification every week that you have attended school and that you have not skipped one class.
Yes, sir.
The next time you skip, so help me, I'm going to light you up. Do you understand me? You ever test positive for anything else again, I promise you, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to let you out again.
Sir.
And I don't give a rat's behind what kind of deal that you have to get him out on, whether he gets dismissed or not. You violate any set conditions, it's over for you.
Yes, sir.
So, GPS prior to release, scram on the other ankle so he's not drinking, school every day. After he gets home from school, 3 o'clock, what time does he get home from school?
I get home at 2:35, sir.
So
I leave school at 2:35 and get home at 2:50.
3 p.m. home, and he stays there. He's not allowed out until the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Okay? That's it. Saturday, Sunday, you stayed home. You're not allowed out.
When do you want a reset wise? Because it's gonna auto generate once you give him the bond. So right.
I mean, we can set it off. Well, I'd like to set it off on a weekly basis so that we know he's
Okay,
attending
and then I
school.
can get with the DA
So
and
we'll
kind of,
do, so what's today? Today's Monday. We'll set it for next Monday.
and I'll get with the state, iron out.
Now, back into school, and I want proof that you're actually enrolled and that you're attending faithfully every single day. You cut a class, I'm gonna cut you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck.
It's a family function, is the other, go on the weekends, no? We don't want-
Hey, of course.
I am here on Miguel Sanchez. It's a custody case. Just wanted to approach regarding bail.
So hi.
He's on a deferred. He's on a deferred and on a felony case.
He back there now?
He is back there. Yeah.
Hey, guys. Deputy, do you mind bringing someone out? So, yeah, he's the burglary with intent to commit another felony. What's the other felony, you know?
I don't. I
Let's see,
think.
let's see, because I don't know.
I think the complaint witness in that case is the same
Same
complaint
complaint
witness in this case.
Oh, it's a bird hab.
Judge, it looks like the underlying is assault and second offense.
Okay, that's what, so it was burglary with intent to commit the assault.
So he does go to felony case on 5/9, Judge. And I just wanted to approach $25,000 is pretty high. He does not have a job at the moment. He lives with his mother in Cleveland, Texas. The complaining witness.
It's almost part of the problem in the felony case.
And it,
Morning, Mr. Sanchez.
Good morning.
How's jail?
that's all right.
It's not good enough.
No.
I'm glad that you find this funny. It's really not. You know, you're on a deferred for a very serious. Is this a second degree? What is this? You're on deferred for a first degree felony where the minimum is 5 years to 99 years or life. You're on deferred for that type of case, and you've now picked up an assault of a family member. You know, I got to tell you that there are some people in your life that are complete cancer to you. And if you don't cut those people out of your lives, they kill you. You have now been invaded with this type of cancer, and it's going to kill you. If it hasn't already, it's damn near close. Somehow, we have to get the message to you that rules are in place, and you now stand charged with assault of a family member. You're facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. The reason I have you out now is because I don't know what happened. The only thing I know is that the magistrate put your bond at $25,000, which is typically pretty high for a misdemeanor case. But, you know, everything is about perspective, right? We need to know what happened, your priors, to see how we go forward. Okay, please.
Thank you, Judge. On May 1st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance call. Officers arrived and made contact with the complaining witness who stated that she got into a physical altercation with the defendant, who is her ex-boyfriend. The complainant witness stated that she locked herself in the room and gave officers permission to enter. Officers then detained the defendant and spoke with the complaining witness, who stated that the defendant and her got into a verbal argument when the defendant pushed her onto the bed and began kicking her legs, causing pain. Officers observed bruises to the complaining witness's legs.
And Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. So he is on deferred for a burglary case where the underlying facts are literally the exact same thing. You know, I got to tell you, I've never been placed in this position, but I have to think that it really sucks to walk on eggshells, have where you basically are in constant fear. What's going to happen to me today? Is he going to get upset? Is he going to go off on me today? Is something going to happen? Imagine. No one should have to live like that, Mr. Sanchez. It's just not fair. I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person, not to be in possession of weapons, have a GPS monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of where she lives or where she works. The monitor is going to tell me exactly where you are at all times. I'm going to tell you now that your bond is at $25,000. If I find that you break any of these conditions, I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have hairs off your beard falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or use anything in an intoxicating manner. What's your position on the bond reduction?
Judge, this is going to be imposed. This is the, thank you, Judge, because of the fact that the defense is currently on deferred, the underlying complaining witness being the same as is in this case. This is also the sixth case, Your Honor, although 3 of those have been dismissed, where the underlying complaining witness is the exact same as is in this case.
Did you want to say something?
Judge, again, he's indigent. He doesn't have money to afford any type of bond. I believe, looking back in the records on the felony case originally, I think that complaining witness, the same complaining witness here, was saying that nothing happened. There was miscommunication. Somebody else called the cops. I don't know if they've contacted her on this particular case. But just as far as that's concerned, I know he is on the deferred, but just to give you a little backstory, my understanding, it was a no threatening her or harassing behavior as part of the condition of the deferred. He was allowed to contact her. I believe, she's saying X, but she invited him over. He was authorized to be there. And so from that standpoint, just giving a little bit of background on everything, I would be asking for a PR bond, $1,000 PR bond on this case. He does live in Cleveland, Texas. He has told me he will stay away from this individual. He's not working at the moment. He doesn't have any means, manner to afford any other type of bail, Judge.
Do we know if it was a condition of his bond that he wasn't to have contact with her while he was on probation?
I believe it was just no threatening or harassing, but double checking on that. But
On that would be Judge.
It says here among the other allegations that he's
right, and other stuff was, I think there was a whole bunch of fees that he failed to pay, didn't show up to.
testing positive for meth, didn't do the BIP program, didn't do the DDRP program.
Judge, with this complaining witness, it was no threatening harassment.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
With this complaining witness, it was no threatening harassment conduct.
Okay. Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to be straight. You scare me. You scare me. And it scares me that the last thing I want is another death on our streets. And, he's being held at no bond as it is now. So anything that we do would be, I do think that a PR bond is wholly inappropriate. I'm not going to give him a PR bond. I will give you a bond reduction. I'll reduce it to 10,000. Roxanne, a GPS prior to release. Cut the cancer out, man. I'm telling you, it's going to kill you. at some point. Really, just life is not worth sitting in a 6x9 box for the next 15 years where there's so much fun. I mean, the new Switch is coming out, man. I'm like, I need to play for, you know? But now, really, life's too short, man. Get it, Mr. Sanchez. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.